Take you to Mombasa now, where the search and rescue operation for a mother and her daughter who perished in a car that sank in the Indian Ocean will resume tomorrow after bearing no fruit today. Sam Gituku is in Mombasa and has been monitoring the situation and the search. Sam joins me now live. Sam, good evening. What have you gathered and what is the latest?
Well, good evening, Yvonne. What we know now is that for the very first time, of course, yesterday we reported that we could not see the electronic equipment that the operation officials were talking about. But for the very first time tonight, we can report that we're able to see the equipment. I don't know whether we have the chance to just pan towards that direction and see the light that reflects back. What we know is that that is the vessel that is carrying the electronic equipment that uses the sound technology, what you would call the sonar equipment, that sends sound to the floor of the sea, and then whatever is sent back in form of an echo is used to compare data or calculate data that will indicate the depth of the ocean, bearing in mind that there is historical data. So whatever that is sent right now will be compared with historical data that gives the depth of the ocean based on different longitudes, and therefore now that will be informative for the team that is conducting the operation to be in a position to see what are the areas that are suspect, that would indicate that there's some difference that would show the presence of mass that would be suspect to indicate that the car might have been on that location. But so far, Yvonne, is what we know is that out of the 14 spots that were announced on, I believe, on Tuesday, so far they have been able to come through 8 positions with no positive success. So the process continues into the night. What we know is that even as they continue this sonar technology into the night, then tomorrow morning what you expect is that there will be comparison of the data, and now that would guide the operation managers or the people that are manning this operation to be in a position to know where should they be focusing their energies even as they continue with the remainder of out of the 14 they have done 8, so the remainder is 6, but also there are some indications that they'll have to be in a position to conduct based on the story that we've been able to gather, because there are certain difficulties that the divers and those conducting this operation have been reporting. I leave you with that story so that you can be in a position to see what experience the divers and those that are manning the operation are having to go through, Yvonne. The 4th day of the search and recovery mission has remained consistent on results and the promise.
Hatujafanikiwa kuipata ile pale mahali ambapo hiyo gari hiyo inatazamiwa kuwa ilizama, lakini tumepiga hatua zaidi kutoka jana.
Mwende mkiwa na matumaini kwamba labda kesho asubuhi huenda mambo yakawa mengine tofauti.
The surfing of the ocean focusing on 3 more likely positions out of 14. So far, 8 positions have been scrutinized, with the operation commander saying those accessed on Thursday will be repeated on Friday to exclude doubt. The operation was severely hampered by bad weather as episodes of rain reigned. Colonel Lawrence Gituma telling of more difficulty in the search caused by the depth anti-rain of the seabed at the Likoni channel.
The currents are so strong because of that funnel effect, and again the depths that we are operating on, very deep depths, from around 130 ranging up to 200 feet.
With the aid of electronic equipment, the operation early in the week narrowed down to 14 likely positions of the car. Divers have been tasked to move to the specific spots, an activity that begins with the deployment of a sinker to the exact position. Divers then swim into the waters, following the rope attached to the sinker, an affair that must be conducted gradually for safety.
15 to 20 minutes going down, then 20 minutes, that's the maximum time the divers can be able to take down, and then they use now the remaining 20 to 25 coming up, because that is when they have to decompress for that pressure difference to be able to, for the body to be able to absorb. Otherwise they come up very fast, we are going to lose them.
Despite their experience, the divers face immense threat to their health should anything go wrong.
When the pressure is too high, then it will affect the breathing system and even rupture the lungs. So they have to go and decompress, whether going down and coming up again.
Some of the divers revealing that to keep their health,
they can only dive up to a maximum of 3 to 4 times in a day, punctuated by sufficient breaks. It is estimated 36 divers are involved in the operation. The divers are required to get into the waters in pairs, closely monitored by 2 others on the surface of the water. Another crew follows the dive closely, ready to act should any of the divers be caught up in a situation. And while the divers are at the floor of the sea, the operation commander says because of poor visibility, they can only use the sense of touch to locate the suspected target. On returning to the surface of the sea, divers go through a debriefing that informs the operation team of the next step.
What they find down there, it could be sending more teams in one point if because of the time limitation that they have underwater, then to reconfirm or to extend that search, because it is sometimes it's difficult for them to be able to finish one point with one dive because of the prevailing currents.
Ferry operations resumed normal schedules Thursday, the biggest challenge for the search and recovery mission being the bad weather.
And so the search continues. A family waits, their patience waning. The authorities say that they strive to balance between the rights of the family affected and the safety of those conducting the operation. Sam Kituku, Citizen TV, at the Likoni channel, Mombasa County.